Hmm?
We on YouTube, not Kid.
Yeah, but it's facing me.
Yeah, just turn it around. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got it. So today, hey. Look, we about to get it in. I'm about to really push this through, so very minimum talking, but the main thing I want y'all to do is just watch what I'm doing. All right, there's going to be a lot of things that y'all are going to typically see in the kitchen, especially when you're dealing with steaks and stuff like that. So we're going to do what you would typically do, like on a die-cast iron pan or simply in your kitchen, but we're going to do the same techniques on a grill, and it's going to taste so much better because, hey, everything on the grill is always better, man. Come on, y'all. Let's be real with that. So have this going. All right. I'm killing off a lot of the stuff that may have found its way, made this grill a home. Didn't use it too much in the summer like I wanted to, but anyway, we're going to get it in today in a major way for sure. So I'm just going to put a fresh coat of oil on this grill. You see how that fire is interacting? And look, I made some clarified butter, flavored it. All right. It's going to be insane, y'all. Watch. Just watch. Get all of this stuff. Even when the stuff is done. Boom. And you know what I forgot to get? How are we going to throw steaks on a grill if we have nothing to flip it with? Da-da. So just stay right here. Just look at that. I'm going to get something to flip. Oh!
You could have just said spatula. You know. What the heck? Go.
Yep. So I can tell y'all this is like a real true off the hip session because when you're talking about cooking at the professional level, you're talking about mise en place, and obviously that was a small detail that I didn't apply. Right, is the mise en place piece. I was just like, hey, let me just come on and get a live session going and see where it goes, right? Just like really, really off the hip type stuff, which I totally love. But now that we got this stuff going, all right, let me get this dog back in the house. Come on, Coco. Mm-hmm. Come on, Coco. Good girl. There you go. All right. So without further ado, all my temperatures is correcto. All right. Now, let me show y'all first the butter creation that I have made. You can get into that a little bit. So as you can see, with this butter, it do have seasoning. A lot of that seasoning has rested on the bottom. But as I brush these steaks, you would get to see all of that seasoning. The honey that I put also in there too. Just a little bit of honey for that added umph, for that added sweetness. All right, y'all get to see all of that in work. But we're going to stir it up just a little bit. All right, get that set. Now these right here are rather thin pieces of steak. This is about a half an inch thick. All right, so it's not going to take a long time to really cook these off, especially when you apply it on the grill. All right, so first we'll start, because I want to get those grill marks, because why not? We're using a grill. Start it at a diagonal angle. Leave some space in between. I keep my fat on. All right. I just make it a habit of keeping my fat on. Right. I do not trim my fat. You could look at all the marbling. Right. Now this is a decent amount of marble plus the actual meat. So this is really lean stuff. But the more marble, the better.
What's that spot on there?
This right here,
It's
fat. See that? That's a good question. It's all fat. Just dump that in there. Right? It's a very good question. Lay this like so. Let's get all of these going. And I can move this one probably right here. Yep, just move these up just a little bit. And lay that bad boy right there. All right, so I'm gonna go in real quick, wash my hands, get the blood off, and then we're gonna proceed with the basin of this flavored butter, clarified butter at that mix, all right? Then that's where the magic is gonna happen. So when I start it, I'm just gonna constantly go back, wash it, flip it, and then go from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So y'all can see this, right?
Yeah.
You know, 1/2 inch, real good stuff. Want to pick this up. Look at all that good seasoning right here. Man. We're talking about solid eating, y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and get some of this butter on here. The first coat, the first set. Because there isn't so much marbling involved with these specific cut steaks, you always want to add an element of fat to it. So the meat, as it cooks, it do not dry up on you. Get that first set. Man, this thing looks so beautiful right now. Kind of stir that up. Always got to keep it stirring because a lot of the seasonings that I added in here is very heavy seasoning, so it tends to stay at the bottom where you want it at the top. And then, of course, you know, you got to constantly stir because it got the honey element to it as well. And you don't want it to really stay in like one place. You want to constantly move all this good flavor all around. I'm trying not to spill it too, especially on my shoes, y'all. There we go. I have the eye on this thing really low. All right. I have it really low. I don't want to flash cook it. Nothing dealing with speed. I want it to take its time. I want it to really, really cook. Look at all that goodness. I want it to really, really cook through. There we go. Let me get some more butter on this one. And when you're using butter, make sure that you use unsalted butter. Very important because you don't want to have a lot of butter content within all your food because you got sauces that's high in, you know, sodium, and then you're adding more salt is sodium, so you're adding more to that entire mix, and you don't want that. So unsalted butter is the choice butter. And then from there, you could add your own seasons, whatever rub that you want. You can add to that to give it its own flavor profile. And look at that, and then you're good to go. Give this butter a good stir. Wait for a little bit, and then I'm gonna flip it. And then from there, we want to kind of repeat the cycle. So there you go. No worries, no worries. All right. So after doing that, you want to look at all your products and see if there's any areas that you can actually hit up again. Like this right to cool it off. But like I said, next time just Workheap is good to go. All right. Man, this thing is looking real good. But to get this thing a little stir real quick, I mean, it's very important. You don't want your seasonings in this to be really clumped up, because it do go through this kind of like binding process just a little bit. Okay, let's keep that whole stuff loose. Perfect. Look at this work. And that's the biggest thing too, is just letting this really come to its own conclusion. It's kind of crazy saying that, but like, you don't want to disturb the meat when it's when it's actually in the process of working. You don't want to disturb it. Just keep it there, let the fire, let its cooking method do its thing, right? But you can see how all of the steak is really taking form now. You can see how it's really taking form now. All right. Yeah. You can see real quick. So this stuff is good, man. So usually when it comes to steaks, they would just say put it in a skillet, put it in die-cast iron skillet specifically for that better flavor to it. But you got to constantly baste it. And then you would just take like either basil or rosemary. You throw it in there, a little salt, pepper, just a classical way of doing this kind of stuff. And you just constantly baste it until it cooks to the point where, whatever doneness that you want. But when you're looking at this on a grill, it's like it's having this different level of relation. It's really cooking at a point where you get in the grill elements to it, so if you have a grill, this is propane obviously, but if you even have a grill that's that you could do like wood chips combination with charcoal, that will even make a better, more flavorful set of meat that you will see here. So in a little bit, I'm going to turn all of these around. All right, I'm going to turn all of these around. And then I'm going to baste the other side, right? Service side down. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to baste that. And then kind of get like the same rapport. Let it cook in a little bit. And then afterwards, I'm going to base, flip, a little bit more repeatedly, so the flavors in the clarified butter mixture will actually work itself in on both sides. Because obviously, like if you look at this, when I flip it, a lot of the seasoning and the butter that I did add to it, it will fall into the grill, essentially. So, and that's no problem. But look at this. Ooh, now you see the chars, right? You see that char mark right there? That's what you want to see. That is a beautifully cooked steak. That's a beautifully cooked steak. Look at that. Look at those edges. All right. Beautifully cooked steak. You can already see where it's going. Now, let's do the reverse. All right. So, same with this butter. Get it all mixed in because you start to see it clumped up in these areas right here. You want to kind of break that apart. You want to break that apart. Get a little bit on here. And just repeat the same process. Repeat the same process. Get a little bit on. Boom, just like that. Now look at this thing come alive. Just like that. And you just go simply down the line. Nothing crazy. You don't even have to speed through this process. There's no rush. You want to move with a little sense of urgency, yes. You don't want to be a slow turtle, but, you definitely want to go through this process where you're putting a lot of your butter on this stuff. Just like what you see me do right now. Let's introduce more. There we go. Yeah. I love it when the fire want to come up and kiss your hand. Just like that, right? So you definitely want to get in this and, keep the fat going on this thing. You want to keep the fat on this. You don't want it to be totally cooked in. Then you're going to be dealing with some very dry meat. So to avoid that, that's why you got to keep basting this and apply a generous amount of your flavored butter on top of these steaks. And you see, I just done it. You can see some of the butter puddles on this meat. Now I just want to go back. And make sure that I got a good amount on the first set. Could never go wrong with butter. Especially when you flavored it yourself, right? Boom. Okay. Let me move this over here a little bit more now that the fire want to come out that way. But this is where the magic happens, right? This right here is where the magic happens. You're doing everything right, and you just got to trust the process. And as you can see here from afar, all pieces of the steak have butter on it. It's flavored butter, like I keep saying. And all of them are working. You can see the charred marks. All right, some of them have very strong diamond patterns in there. And then you can look at the edges of all of these steaks and also see that the charred mark is well around. It's not overcooked. It's not too burnt. It's not none of that crazy stuff. It is perfect. So you're looking at perfect steak right now. All right. So yeah, just get a look at that real quick. Just get a look.
That looks not good.
Yep, get a look at that steak. Yeah, get a close up. Get a close up. There you go. So this is perfect. All right. Very simple process. Well, at least it should be simple for everybody, right? And if you have a grill, look, if you have a grill, no matter if it's summer outside, if it's snowing, no matter the weather, utilize that grill. It not only expedite the cooking process for you, but it adds that extra nice grilled flavor touch to your meat. So, you could do all your stuff obviously in your kitchen, but sometimes come outside, no matter the weather, get it on a grill, let people experience the grill year round. The grill is not just for summer. It's not an exclusive tool for the summer. You can use this thing year round, y'all. Trust me. All right. So take a look at that. Watch it work. Watch it work. Look at that, man. Look at that work. Now tell me, y'all won't eat these? Y'all wouldn't eat these?
Yes.
Tell me. Look at that work, y'all. So this is exactly what I'm talking about, all right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Very, very, again, I cannot stress it enough. Very simple routine, okay? A lot of the stuff that y'all do in the kitchen, you can apply that same thing to your grill. 100%. All right, y'all? So let's see what the bottom look like. I know I just recently flipped it. It's been sitting like this for roughly about 4 minutes or so. But I just want to take a little peek just for y'all viewing of it, just to see what the bottom look like, all right? Because remember, when I first started, I put the butter and a lot of the seasoning on the first part. So it should be cooking right into it, the parts that's left over. But let's look. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Look at that. Look at, zoom in. Look at all the juice. Look at all that juice. Look how mouth-wateringly, like, it's so, I already know. I just wanted to show y'all. I already know. This thing is very, very juicy. When you take, like, this is only like a 1/2 inch cut steak. So when you take thicker cuts of meat and you constantly baste it, you got to introduce fat to it, because most of the time, if it's not Wagyu, it's going to be more on the lean side. Even though it have a little bit of marbling in it, like what I shown y'all from the beginning, it had just a little bit of marbling, and I kept the fat trimmings on it as well. I did not go ahead and cut that off. I kept it on there for a reason, because I want to introduce a different fat element to it so it could actually remain or retain its internal moisture. That's what I was going for. And you can obviously see that it actually works. It's no surprise to me again, but look. So another thing that you want to watch out for when you're dealing with this is your cooking time. So for me, I know y'all, I know, don't kill me, don't burn me at the stake, but I love my steaks. I love all of my red meats well done. The cat's out the bag. I love my meats well done. I don't like to cut into it and see any forms of 40 shades of pink, big blotches of red. I want my thing cooked through and through. All right. So you want to make sure when you have your stuff on the grill, and especially when you're dealing with thin cut of steak like this, that you do not overcook it. All right. So this is the time where I'm going to flip them again. Like I told you before, I'm going to flip it again. And then I'm going to baste the other side because it is very important. Look at that, y'all. As I flip it, just look at it. Look at it. Look at the glaze. Look at like how juicy it is. All right. Look at all that. Look at it work. Look at it work. I love this. See that blackness right there? I love that. That's a telltale sign we about to eat really good. All right. So let me get this butter again. And like I said, just redo the same process. Now you want to start from the inner part of the grill towards you. Why? Why do you want to start from the inner part of the grill towards you? Because this is fat. Fat, oils, plus fire is not a good mix. So if you have any kind of thing that want to kick fire up, you want to get it away from your hand. So that's why you always want to start in the back like so. And don't brush too hard because you're going to be brushing off a lot of the seasoning that's found its way stuck to the meat. So you see what I'm talking about right there? So you want to do a nice little pat. Boom, just introduce the fat again to your steak. All right, just a nice little pat. You don't want to brush, you don't want to mop. All right, just do a little pat, just like that. All right, again, start from the back. Brush, a little bit. You know, tap, 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 brush, tap. Could be a song right there. All right. And you can see I don't have that much butter left. All right. But we definitely going to work this. We're definitely going to work this, y'all. Boom. Look at that. So you can see the extra layer of fat. You can see these pools right here. Little indentations within the meat. Let's get it on this edge. And the last one, which is the biggest one, the biggest cut, you want to work the rest to its advantage, especially reglaze the tip. All right, so I got just enough right here. I got just enough, okay? So just find some pockets where, hey, like you just overlooked, but you can now go back and reapply. Okay, reapply. Want to get a little bit more on this tip, both sides. All right. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, so that is already used up. So from here, only thing we're working on is honestly time. All right, both sides is flipped. I'm going to flip it again in a few, probably like 2 or 3 minutes, just off the hip. And then afterwards, I'm going to pull it because honestly, to a lot of you, it's already done. Y'all would probably eat it right now. But like I said, I love my stuff well done. I love it well done. It's good like that. All right. So I want it just a little bit more. I want a little bit more char. Just a little bit. Give me a little bit more char. Because the char has the flavor as well. We cannot sleep on that. Those crispy edges is just like the finishing touches to your meats. All right. That's why you get burnt ends, right? It's that char, it's that extra doneness on the tips where it will bring in a lot more flavor. So as you can see here, as you come up, just check it out. Now look at that go. Look at that go. Put this on this side now. classic good steak. Now think about the side dishes that you want. A lot of people will easily run to steak and potatoes. That is so boring. You could do rustic potatoes, you could do mashed potatoes, you could do a lot of different things. But think about something a little bit more creative as a side dish that could accompany this, right? When it comes to vegetables, a lot of people love pairing asparagus with steak. They'll put asparagus, they will take minced garlic, chef salt, which is kosher salt, and ground black pepper. They will put that with oil, mix it all up, and then put the asparagus on the grill, and then they'll apply their oil sauce onto the asparagus, and then that's like a typical thing. So protein would be steak, potatoes, starch, and then for vegetable on your plate, asparagus. That is so classic steakhouse, so overdone, so boring, right? So I'm finishing this on the grill, but think, is this something that you want to sous vide and then finish on the grill? Is it something that you want to par cook on the grill just to get the char mark and all this extra stuff, right? Create a beef stew type of a broth, right? Some kind of thickening broth, and then put it in a crock pot. Do you want to take it off the grill, par cook, and then do something extra with it and put it in your oven to finish in your oven? So what are you thinking about? Or are you just doing a simple, same old classic routine that's been so done it is not even exciting anymore, right? So I decided to take butter, regular butter, store-bought butter, right? I clarified the butter when I melted it, right? Skimming off all the impurities, the white, milky stuff that sits on the top of the butter. So I skimmed it all off as much as I can. And then I took, two things of rubbed seasoning, added to the butter. And then I have taken just a little bit of honey and just went up and down twice. There you go. Just to give it that extra umphness to it. So that's what you're seeing right here. And then I started on the grill and I finished on the grill. Now I don't have a sous vide machine yet, so obviously I'm not going to go through those different processes. But when I get it, I'll start to do that and then show you what that looks like when you actually take in the sous vide method to meats and then putting it on the grill to finish off. I'm talking about vacuum sealed, cooked like that. The meat through and through is a mouthful of flavor, hands down. But that's another video, that's another talk. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this, right? It's been sitting here for roughly about 3 minutes. So you can see right now, all right, the meat is definitely done. There's some hot spots on this grill, all right? There's some hot spots, but this time, when I flip it, I'm only going to have it here for a few seconds, all right? I want that butter from the top to really cook in, to do its thing, right? But these are already done. So when I said a few seconds, I really mean I'm pulling it right now, right? So you can see right here, all right. It got its way. It got its way. Look at this. So when you pull it, you're going to look at the finished product. Right? So look, y'all. Look at the finished product. Wow. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God, smell this. Smell this real quick.
Smells good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Solid eating, y'all. So I'm gonna turn this grill off. I'm gonna clean off the grill. Our side dish is already done.
Yep.
It's in my kitchen, so we ain't gotta worry about that. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about side dishes to kind of, have you push past simplicity, right? Have some fun. If you're going to be behind a stove or behind a grill and cooking, why not push it and have a lot of fun with it? Be a little bit more creative than the basics that you may have seen on like Food Network or anywhere else, right? So this is all good. We are all done. This is the another great live session. I definitely want to thank y'all for all of your time and all that good stuff, especially allowing me to show you just another different angle when it comes to taking something that is so basic and typically would have been done in the kitchen, but applied it on the grill, y'all. You know what time it is. Chef Prime.